Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Ringside Wrestling Entertainment. This is Joel Perez here for your Monday Night Raw review for the date of February 19th, 2018. Here tonight, we were talking the Elimination Chamber Go Home show. And I mean, Monday Night Raw here tonight was better than usually because for 2 hours out of the 3 of this show, the show was focused on a gauntlet matchup between the 7 participants in the Elimination Chamber matchup, the men's Elimination Chamber matchup, happening at the pay-per-view this Sunday. So for that very reason, the first 2 hours of Monday Night Raw were better than they usually were. Does this mean that this was a good edition of Monday Night Raw? No, there's still a lot to complain about. There's still a hell of a lot to complain about because we're going to talk about the wrong that WWE did by having this gauntlet match and putting nothing on the line in this gauntlet match, might I add, and the wrong that WWE did because after tonight especially, they made the Elimination Chamber even more predictable than it already was. And we're going to be discussing why that is. But of course, ladies and gentlemen, make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel like you're watching right here, right now. Monday Night Raw and Smackdown live reviews each and every single week. That means Monday Night Raw review as you're watching right now. You can make sure to go check out last week's Monday Night Raw review, as well as you can await the Smackdown live review after that show goes off the air tomorrow. Little interesting video that I uploaded before Monday Night Raw, like at 5 o'clock today, I believe, was a video talking about why Braun Strowman should go over and win the Elimination Chamber over Roman Reigns. It is a very, very interesting video. It's more of a rant. I'm not sure if we're going to be doing this more often based on the reception that it gets. I'm going to see. Make sure to go check out that video right there. We're talking why I believe Braun Strowman would be a better candidate to win the Elimination Chamber and go on and fight Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 34, detailing each and every single thing in detail, why Roman Reigns shouldn't win and why it is predictable that Roman Reigns is going to win, and why it is just absolutely nauseating that he is going to win. We talk all that right there, as well as the reasons why Braun Strowman should win. So make sure to go check out that video right there. Very, very interesting video. A rant, I would like to call it. But tell me what you guys think. Tell me if you agree with me. Tell me if you want to see more of those types of videos in the comment section of that very video. Make sure to go check it out. It's about 20 minutes shorter than what you usually get right here on the Ringside Wrestling channel, which is usually like a 50-minute review. So make sure to go check out that video right there, uploaded earlier today. I want to keep making content like that. It is a lot of fun to just go off and rant about topic. It doesn't have to be news. It doesn't have to be what's going on in the week. We can just talk about something that is of relevance that might not necessarily be pertaining to what's on television. So I enjoy doing that. Make sure to go check that out. Nice 20-minute video right there, of course. So make sure, of course, if you enjoy what you're watching here, to like this video. Make sure to comment and tell me what you thought about Monday Night Raw here tonight, because what you thought about Monday Night Raw here tonight is just as important as about what I thought about Monday Night Raw. Before I forget, I want to make sure to tell you guys to go watch Behind the Mic, episode number 55, because on that we're talking about the news that dropped this week regarding WWE and their decision to, of course, make all pay-per-views after WrestleMania 34 dual brand. That I think it's a boneheaded decision, but of course we're talking all the details on that on Behind the Mic, as well as a brand split we're talking on there. We're talking all sorts of news on Behind the Mic, so make sure to go check Behind the Mic episode number 55, uploaded just this past Saturday. So make sure to go check that out, because of course for now we're going to go into the Monday Night Raw review, and of course this Raw was centered around the Gauntlet matchup that we had with all 7 members of the Elimination Chamber. Let's see if we can name them off the top of my head. It's Finn Balor, Seth Rollins, Braun Strowman, Elias, The Miz, Roman Reigns, and did I say Braun Strowman? Did I say Braun Strowman? Is that it? Is that the final member? My God, why are there 7 men in the Elimination Chamber? Absolutely ridiculous. Anyways, they did reveal the ruling before the gauntlet match begun of the Elimination Chamber, and it will be that the Elimination Chamber will start with 3 men instead of 2, and 4 men will be locked in the pods. I don't like it. I mean, I like that one-on-one aspect of the start. I like that a lot. And the fact that now it's going to be even more of a multi-man matchup than it was before is absolutely ridiculous. But what are you going to do? What are you going to do? WWE always wanting to do something bigger and better. It's like 2018 is going to be the year of the first time evers. They did the first time ever Women's Royal Rumble. They're doing the first time ever 7-man Elimination Chamber. The first time ever Women's Elimination Chamber. And here tonight they did the longest matchup in Monday Night Raw history. The first time a matchup on Monday Night Raw has gone over an hour. That's what tonight's goddamn thing was. My God. Absolutely ridiculous. But I did like that the gauntlet matchup here tonight gave everybody time to breathe. They didn't just have Elias and The Miz go out there and get squashed. It made everybody look good who's going into the Elimination Chamber as a result. But like always, there are things to complain about. The fact that Roman Reigns started this matchup and he was against Seth Rollins and he lost from the get-go. From the get-go, he got rolled up by Seth Rollins after like 30-minute matchup. He got rolled up by Seth Rollins, went for an Okada roll. Rollins turned that into a roll-up of his own, and Seth Rollins wins 1, 2, 3. He survives Roman Reigns. He survives the Roman Empire. You ain't going to be doing that on Sunday, Seth. But for tonight, you survived the Roman Empire. And as soon, within seconds, that Roman Reigns got eliminated, he's winning the Elimination Chamber. That's the first thing that popped into my mind. He's winning the Elimination Chamber is what that means. That's all it could have meant. That's all it could have meant, that he's winning the Elimination Chamber. The fact that Braun Strowman won this gauntlet match here tonight shows me that he's not winning the Elimination Chamber. Because you know how WWE loves their 50-50 booking. Of course, they love to do it. So, of course, Braun Strowman is going to look strong, and he's going to retain some of that momentum that he's going to lose after getting pinned in the Elimination Chamber on Sunday night, because you got to keep Braun Strowman looking big and strong. So he won the gauntlet match up here tonight, and because Braun Strowman won on the go-home show, like always, it's like a curse. That means they're not winning at the pay-per-view. And they did the same thing in the 6-woman tag main event here tonight. That was your main event to Monday Night Raw. Immediate points lost right there off this show. The fact that the women in a 6-man tag was your main event. You couldn't have given us Sasha Banks versus Alexa Bliss to determine who's going in last in the Elimination Chamber. Something of caliber, of quality. You couldn't have given us a 6-pack challenge of sorts to give us something of quality, but a 6-woman tag is the way they decide to go, because we haven't seen enough of those on Raw and Smackdown Live. My God, in the women's division alone, we have not seen enough of those, right? Right? Absolutely ridiculous there, but the fact that Alexa Bliss was tapping out by the end of that matchup to Sasha Banks immediately tells me Alexa Bliss is winning at the Elimination Chamber. She lost here tonight. That means she's winning on Sunday. That's just the way it goes. That is just the way it goes. Now, I cross my fingers and hope to God that WWE is going to do something a little bit more original and have Bayley win, or maybe even give it to Sasha so you can go Bayley and Sasha at WrestleMania, and maybe you can even do Alexa Bliss versus Nia Jax in an undercard matchup. But you mean to tell me the undercard matchup in the plans is Sasha and Bayley, and it's Nia and Alexa fighting for your women's title? That comes off as absolutely pathetic. It really, really does. Anyways, before we get into that too much, I just want to talk about this gauntlet matchup, which took up 2 hours of the show. Like I already mentioned, it was Roman Reigns and Seth Rollins for like the first 30 minutes of this gauntlet matchup. Very good matchup. Seth Rollins, that's one thing they did right here tonight. They had him last night come out, or last week I should say, come out and say, I want to be a singles competitor again. I want to be legitimate again. I want to be Monday Night Rollins. And they did that perfectly here tonight. They portrayed Seth Rollins as this underdog. They made him look fantastic. They revitalized Seth Rollins. I don't want to say that they made Seth Rollins a made man here tonight, because Seth Rollins in the past, on many occasions, has been a made man. But here tonight, they proved to us, and they reminded us, I should say, that's the word, why we love Seth Rollins, and why Seth Rollins, since WrestleMania 33, has been the best in-ring competitor in the entirety of Monday Night Raw. It's true. It's damn true. Which Kurt Angle says that line like such a robot at this point, but I'm just throwing that in there. Anyways, Seth Rollins, 30 minutes with Roman Reigns. Who's the next competitor? Roman Reigns is extending his fist. He wants that fist bump from Rollins. They do it, and immediately who's out? John Cena. I'm saying, well, bye-bye, Rollins. See you later. So John Cena, Seth Rollins, they tango for another 30 minutes. So Seth Rollins, I believe the total tally was an hour and 5 minutes that he was in this matchup, bro. He went back and forth with John Cena for a good 30 minutes, and he won a very good matchup with John Cena. Took an AA, everybody kicked out of the AA, kicked out, all this crap, bro. Cena at the end of the matchup was going for the double AA combination. Seth Rollins rolls through, and he manages to kick Cena in the gut, hit the curve stomp, bada boom shock lock. At one point he hit a beautiful superplex Falcon Zero combination. Rollins was made a legitimate star. He was wrestling at an hour and 5 minutes like he was at 10 minutes, bro. He is fantastic in the ring. Beats John Cena. So in one night, Seth Rollins was able to beat Roman Reigns and John Cena. For what reason? I don't know. Because that's one of my issues with this gauntlet match. You put nothing on the line. That is absolutely ridiculous to me. You put absolutely zilch on the line in this gauntlet match. That is garbage. That really, really is garbage. You could have capitalized on the situation that you had and made it so the 7 men in this matchup, whoever wins, gets to enter the Elimination Chamber last. But of course, WWE did that matchup in a triple threat where the other 3 members, because at that point we thought there were going to be 6 men in the Elimination Chamber, where the other 3 members hadn't even been announced yet. They haven't even had their matchups at that point to qualify for the Elimination Chamber. So the opportunity to come in last was only given to Elias, Braun Strowman, and John Cena, when you could have given it to everybody in the matchup, when you could have gone the logical route, might I add. WWE failed to do that. So Seth Rollins, you wrestled an hour and 5 minutes for absolutely no goddamn reason. That's what I mean to tell you. He was interviewed backstage, and a great story was told. Much more story than WWE tells when they're cutting all these backstage promos, when they're doing the long abbreviated opening segments. Much more story was told here tonight through what we were seeing in the ring than there ever is in these backstage promos over abbreviated segments in the ring with Kurt Angle. So much more story. And that just goes to show you why Monday Night Raw should be a wrestling-centric show. That's what makes NXT so great. The wrestling tells the story. The wrestling is entertaining. Seeing Seth Rollins survive through both John Cena and Roman Reigns that was a story that I became invested in throughout this matchup. Much more than I would be if he was in a segment with Kurt Angle, where Kurt Angle sounds like an absolutely over-scripted buffoon. I mean, to be realistic, this is how Monday Night Raw should be booked every week, with matchup after matchup after matchup, because this came across much better than if WWE would have done what they usually do. So, it was Seth Rollins in the ring for an hour. Who was out next? Elias. So clearly Elias was finally able to put away Seth Rollins. At this point, Seth Rollins was just a somehow still breathing carcass, and Elias was able to hit the drift away, and he was gone. So that was Seth Rollins' night ended. After the matchup, he cut a promo with Renee Young in the middle of the gauntlet matchup. They would have Renee Young on the little screen, right? And they'd have an interview. So Seth Rollins was interviewed by Renee Young, and he was pretty much like, yep, I guess I was able to surpass Roman Reigns and John Cena, but at the end of the day, I didn't get the job done. So what does that really mean? I mean, I like that attitude that they're giving Seth Rollins, that I didn't win it all, so there's no reason to celebrate just yet. And I hated how on commentary the entire night they were comparing this scenario to the Elimination Chamber. They never brought up the fact that in the Elimination Chamber there's going to be multiple men in the ring at the same time. So Seth Rollins is going to be able to take a breather. This is all one-on-one scenario. As a matter of fact, the Elimination Chamber won't even start as a one-on-one scenario this year, because it's starting as a three-man scenario this year. So I don't know where they were coming from comparing this to the Elimination Chamber, because for one, they're not going to be surrounded by the steel structure and the pods and all that good stuff, and it's not a one-on-one environment. So I don't understand where WWE and their commentators were coming from here tonight. That kind of irked me. Anyways, Elias managed to eliminate Seth Rollins clearly in easy fashion. Next man out was Finn Balor, and there wasn't really much to say about this. I saw a tweet here tonight that really shattered glass for me on Finn Balor, and it was saying that you've seen one Finn Balor match, you've pretty much seen them all. And I really can't disagree with that. I really cannot disagree with that. You think to all of Finn Balor's matches on Monday Night Raw and on these pay-per-views with Bray Wyatt and Seth Rollins and all these guys, and in tag team matches with the club, and you really think about it and you analyze and you look at these matchups, and you can't help but think, yeah, that's the same thing I saw last week. You really can't. And it really shattered a glass while watching Finn Balor here tonight. Realistically, he puts on the same match every time. Anyways, Finn Balor is able to beat Elias, took advantage of the rib injury that he had, that suffered last week, clearly because Braun Strowman last week, in the best segment of Monday Night Raw. Kind of hard to believe that the best segment of Monday Night Raw had to do with Braun Strowman hitting Elias with a giant bass guitar, but that's the stage we're at this point on Monday Night Raw. Anyways, Elias was hit with a coup de grace, I believe, and bada boom shakalaka. Out next was The Miz and his Miztourage, and The Miz pretty much won the same way that he's always won, through the same old cheating garbage. I actually felt quite refreshed last week, because I believe he was in there with Apollo Crews, and Miz put on a damn good matchup with Apollo Crews last week, and he won clean. That felt quite refreshing. But this week, he was back straight to his cheating ways, right? I guess you can say. And the Miztourage distracted Finn Balor multiple times, allowed The Miz to hit the skull-crushing finale, I believe, and The Miz pinned Finn Balor. It looks like going into WrestleMania, they're going to play up Finn Balor and The Miz, which is a lot better. The rumor was Braun Strowman and The Miz, but it doesn't look like that's going to be the case, because in that backstage interview Finn Balor had with Renee Young, he was like, the Miztourage screwed me over, and it sounded like he kind of wanted a shot at the Intercontinental Championship, and that was going to be the matchup they're going with for WrestleMania, and I like that. Having the Intercontinental Championship on a babyface is something that I vouched for such a long time now, and I know multiple other people have as well who have a platform on YouTube, because it's quite frankly the logical thing to do. Why has the Intercontinental Championship in some fashion or another been on The Miz for so long? It's literally been wasted away. Literally, the Intercontinental Championship should have been off of The Miz from the beginning of 2017 onward. Yet it's somehow always managed to get back into the hands of The Miz, and it's come across as absolutely ridiculous. So it looks like WWE is finally going to give the Intercontinental Championship to somebody who can work with that belt, and that is going to be Finn Balor. It looks like it's going to be Finn Balor and The Miz at WrestleMania, and I like that. The Miz was able to knock off Finn Balor due to distraction from the Miztourage, but the next person out was the final entrant in this matchup. It was Braun Strowman, and of course, Braun Strowman destroyed The Miz. He destroyed the Miztourage, pretty much came in, Miz tried to run away. When he got a handle on The Miz, Miz was actually able to hit a skull-crushing finale on Braun Strowman. Because of how tall Braun Strowman is, it looked terrible, but that's besides the point. He was able to hit the skull-crushing finale on Braun Strowman for a near fall. Clearly, Strowman was able to kick out, and at the end of the matchup, Strowman hit a power slam on The Miz, and it was over. So he cut a promo after the matchup, pretty much saying that he's going to win the Elimination Chamber. Said, "Excuse me, Charlie Caruso, the android," and he went back in the ring and power slammed the Miztourage, power slammed the Miz, and that was it for the gauntlet match up here tonight. So, again, so predictable. It just goes to show you here tonight that Braun Strowman, since he won tonight, he's not winning at the Elimination Chamber, despite the fact that he should. And if you want to know why he should, make sure to go check out the video that I uploaded earlier today for 20 minutes right there. Great watch, but that's just me with the cheap plugs. Anyways, Monday Night Raw, at this point, we were like at the 10 o'clock hour. That's how long this went. And I honestly didn't mind because, like I said, the wrestling and this show being centered around the wrestling actually worked out better than if things would have gone down under normal circumstances. Because them and the talent that they have and the talent that they have putting on wrestling is much better than whatever the hell we've seen on a regular basis. And I don't think anybody should be complaining about seeing Seth Rollins wrestle for an hour straight. I just don't think it's possible to complain about that. And I'm certainly not complaining about that either. But the show did go on, and as soon as we were away from the gauntlet match, things went back to a normal Monday Night Raw, and you already know what normal Monday Night Raws are, and especially what the third hour of Monday Night Raw always is, and that is garbage. So for now, we're going to go straight into what happened on that third hour of Raw, and we're going to close things up here on the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. So we went to the Hall of Fame video package for Jeff Jarrett, which I actually completely missed. Jeff Jarrett, the founder and the creator of TNA Wrestling. So I actually want to go back and watch that and see if WWE even mentioned TNA. I don't know. But Jeff Jarrett is going to be in the Hall of Fame. Congratulations to Jeff Jarrett. But we went to Asuka, and Asuka cut a completely garbage promo here on Monday Night Raw. But Asuka's awesome, so let's leave her alone. She is foreign to the language of English. Sounded very Japanese, completely botched a part of her promo, and I felt very bad, but that is besides the point here. Asuka says she controls her own destiny, and her destiny is to win the title at WrestleMania 34. She points up at the sign, cringely enough right there. Regarding Jax's comments on being able to end the streak, Asuka says those are strong words from a strong woman, but she didn't look so strong in their last match, and that's the part that she messed up. She said in last match, and then she like forgot her lines or something, and she was like, I was the winner, or some shit like that. Asuka goes on and says Nia likes to talk, but on Sunday she will not be talking. She will be tapping out. And that part actually sounded pretty nice by Asuka. But as far as that botch goes, I don't know, bro. I feel like Vince McMahon is going to sour on her despite her being absolutely amazing in the ring anyways. She proved how good she is in the ring because it was Nia who tried to attack her from behind, and she tried to fight back, got on the second rope, but got caught by Nia, hit with a Samoan drop, and Nia dropped the leg 3 times in a row. So hopefully Nia standing tall on the Go Home show means that Asuka will stand tall at the Elimination Chamber, but then again, I am very, very scared for what WWE will do at the Elimination Chamber because I think there might be a legitimate chance that WWE will end the streak of Asuka, and we all know that would be a huge goddamn mistake. That is a mistake, and I think that needs to be cleared up. So hopefully WWE does the right thing. We're going to talk much more on this matchup in the preview and predictions for the Elimination Chamber coming this Thursday. Make sure not to miss that. Coming this Thursday. Make sure to await that. One of the best ways to await that is to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling YouTube channel. Just had to throw that cheap plug in there. Anyways, moving on here. Michael Cole leads us to a promo for Ronda Rousey's Raw contract signing at the Chamber pay-per-view on Sunday. Whatever. The Bar versus Titus Worldwide. This was an interesting matchup because the Titus Worldwide tag team actually won this matchup. So what that leads me to believe is that at the Elimination Chamber, Titus Worldwide will get an opportunity at the tag team titles. Not a successful challenge for the tag team titles, but just to keep the Bar occupied since there aren't any legitimate tag teams on Monday Night Raw right now. I guess they have to find opponents somewhere. And I think they're going to find that, at least for the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, in Titus Worldwide. I do not know what the hell they're going to do with the Bar going into WrestleMania. Maybe Jeff Hardy will be back in time, and we'll see the Woken Hardys go at it. Another matchup that they announced here tonight was Woken Matt Hardy versus Bray Wyatt. They had a promo that was pretty much the same crap that we seen in the beginning weeks of their feud, and it was not good at all. It was absolutely cringeworthy, as a matter of fact. I have despised what WWE has done with this feud between Woken Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt. They have completely tarnished what they had and all the momentum that the broken Matt Hardy character had going for him. Hopefully a return of Jeff Hardy and Brother Nero will make this a lot better because right now Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt have an absolutely terrible feud going on. Hopefully, at least WWE will do the right thing at the Elimination Chamber and have Matt Hardy go on and be successful against Bray Wyatt. I'm not sure if the matchup at the Elimination Chamber will turn into some type of final deletion thing. I don't know. I think they're going to save that for WrestleMania. If there's nothing else to do between those guys, I don't know what they're going to do. But all I know is that Jeff Hardy might be back before WrestleMania. He may not be. I know that this feud between Matt Hardy and Bray Wyatt is absolutely terrible. And I know that there's nothing going on in the tag team division. And the Bar needs someone to challenge them. I hope that's the Revival. It's probably not going to be the Revival since the Bar is heel and the Revival is clearly heel. But I don't know. Maybe the Woken Hardys will be back in time. I have no goddamn idea. Absolutely none. And that is a very bad thing for the state of Monday Night Raw. We go to Sasha Banks, Bayley, and Mickie James versus Sonya Deville, Mandy Rose, and Alexa Bliss. Again, I ask, why was a 6-woman tag ending Monday Night Raw, as if we have not seen enough of those on Raw and SmackDown already? Anyways, this matchup was nothing special. Alexa Bliss wouldn't want to fight Mickie James because of what they have going on in storyline. Alexa Bliss is trying to be all buddy-buddy with Mickie James inside of the Elimination Chamber, so she tags out. It leads to some awful wrestling by both Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose until the final moments of the matchup lead to Sasha Banks getting the upper hand on Alexa Bliss. She goes into the turnbuckle. I wasn't paying too much attention, but it looked like she went in hard. I'm not sure. but it looked like Sasha Banks could have suffered a concussion going into that turnbuckle, but she was still able to reverse whatever the hell Alexa Bliss was going for into a bank statement that leads to the tap out, and it is Alexa Bliss who is tapping out, clearly making the Elimination Chamber predictable, because if you lose on the Go Home show, that probably means you're going to win at the pay-per-view. So I don't know what's going to go on there, but all I know was that at the end of this matchup, Absolution started attacking everybody. So that was Bayley, that was Mickie James, that was Sasha Banks, and that of course was Alexa Bliss. But Absolution was cleared when Mickie James and Alexa Bliss decided to work together. They decided to work together because I guess Mickie James is falling for the trap, and they were able to take out Absolution. So I don't know what's going to go on there. Is it going to be Mickie James who allows Alexa Bliss and helps her win the Elimination Chamber, and we're all going to be sad knowing that we're going to have to deal with another month of this title reign, and she's going to go into a matchup with Nia Jax? I have no goddamn idea, but that was how Monday Night Raw ended. The go-home show to the Elimination Chamber ended so excitingly, right? Absolutely not. That was absolutely terrible, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do? 6-woman tag ends the Elimination Chamber go-home show. All I think about the Elimination Chamber is that this is going to be a predictable pay-per-view going into WrestleMania. Hopefully WWE puts on a decent show, and hopefully they put on some exciting winners, aka Braun Strowman and maybe a Bayley or Sasha Banks. But we all know that it's going to be Roman Reigns securing himself a slot in the Universal Championship match against Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania. And we all know that it's going to be, of course, Alexa Bliss defending her title against Nia Jax. And it is going to be purgatory as far as Monday Night Raw goes going into WrestleMania. But for now, ladies and gentlemen, that is going to be it for a shorter Monday Night Raw review, since there was not much to talk about, since it was a 2-hour, one-match affair, and it was a shitty hour of Monday Night Raw for the rest of the time. So, I don't know what else to tell you, but to make sure to go check out all the other content on the Ringside Wrestling News channel, and await all the upcoming content on the Ringside Wrestling News channel, because there's going to be a lot of content coming out this week. What do I mean by that? I mean your Monday Night Raw review that you just watched here. If you have not yet watched my video talking about why Braun Strowman should go over Roman Reigns in the Elimination Chamber, make sure to go check that out. If you have, or make sure to await my Smackdown Live review. Make sure to go check out Behind the Mic episode number 55, where we're talking about WWE making all pay-per-views after WrestleMania dual branded. Make sure to await the Elimination Chamber preview and predictions, where we're going to be talking everything regarding the Elimination Chamber. That's not just predicting who's going to win the matches. That's going to be talking the quality of Monday Night Raw going into Elimination Chamber. That's going to be talking the build to the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. We're going to be talking the build of all the matches, as well as who I think should win, aka Braun Strowman should win, and Bayley should win, or Sasha Banks should win, or who I think will win, aka Roman Reigns, aka Alexa Bliss. So we're going to do all of that on, of course, Thursday, and you can, of course, make sure to expect on Sunday your No Mercy Elimination Chamber 2018 review and results after that show goes off the air. I'm in a heap. I am in an absolute heap. I am tired as hell after sitting through 3 hours of Monday Night Raw. It's always the case, but of course, make sure to await all the content. Make sure to go support all the content that's already up. And of course, make sure to subscribe to the Ringside Wrestling channel, because for now, this has been Joel Perez, and I am out of here. Thank you very, very much for watching this video. I will see you next time, right here on Ringside Wrestling.